All right, we are live. Hi, everybody. How are you? Um, Welcome to the channel. Today, I got with me Lindy from Paleobarbie Does Keto. Uh, so we'll see. Give it a couple minutes. I know sometimes a couple minutes that like the commercials run. I know Michelle was talking to me about, hey, the commercials are still on. But hey, hopefully everybody will have some people join us here. Hopefully we'll have a good conversation. Um, I don't know if anybody, there's something on my screen. So hopefully everybody has seen your channel. I would assure that most of the people that have been on my channel. Hey, John, how are you from Barbecue Rockstar? How are you?
There we go. I was trying to see the comments. I couldn't. Okay, there we go.
All right. So John just came up. So
Okay.
how are you? Hopefully everything is good with you. Hopefully you're having a great day. So I'm going to talk a little bit to Lindy about her experiences in life. Hey, Danforth, how are you? Um, how's everything going up in Canada? Hey. And then we can kind of talk about her experiences on her life's journey, on her weight loss, her health, and all of that good stuff. So maybe Lindy, you can talk a little bit about introduce yourself a little bit, and I'm sure there's going to be people on here that know you, and there's going to be people on here that don't know you. So well,
Okay.
tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a mom of three. I have twins who are 30, and I have a son who's 23, and he's married and off in Colorado, getting his PhD. And
Wow.
then take care of my grandchildren quite a bit, and I'm homeschooling them. And I'm a certified science teacher, but I don't teach in public school anymore. I was teaching some private science classes for a while, but this year I just took a break from it, and I'm just doing the grandkid thing, and of course all of this stuff. And um, I don't know how far back you want me to go.
Hi, just wherever you want to talk. Maybe
um,
talk a little bit about. Uh, Go ahead.
oh no, you want me to talk about like
Yeah, talk
my
about your how you came to be a Paleo Barbies does keto,
okay?
and how was paleo part of the whole
Well, that's an
thing or
interesting
not?
story.
Or,
So Paleo Barbie is actually from so my degree in college is geology and paleontology. So and I when
oh, okay.
Yahoo first had you had to pick a name, or whatever for your email. Um, I collect Barbies as well, and so my husband was like, "Well, do Paleo Barbie because you like paleontology and you like Barbies." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So that became my email name. Well, maybe 15 years later, I started doing paleo. So one came before the other. So it was just a quick, it
Oh,
just all
okay.
sort of worked out perfectly though. And then, so I did paleo for about 8 years. Um, I did it because I've got two autoimmune diseases. I've got rheumatoid arthritis, and I've got Graves' disease. And
Okay.
it helped a lot. I felt a lot better. But weight loss was not what I wanted it to be because I was wanting to lose weight, obviously, as well. But I did feel a lot better. So I did it for about 8 years. Um, Went through menopause, gained some more weight, and then I decided I needed to do something. So I started doing a lot of research, and I saw that a lot of people in the paleo and primal kind of part of things were kind of transitioning over to this thing called keto, and I was like, what in the world is keto? So I did a lot of research on it, found some articles. Mark Sisson had talked about it, and then somewhere stumbled upon Dr. Barry and started watching all his videos, and then that's kind of how it started, and then just transitioned over. Basically, just took out the carbier things that are in paleo, like potatoes, honey, maple syrup, those kinds of things,
Yeah.
um, and just stopped eating those. But for the most part, a lot of it is there are very similar, a lot of similarities between paleo and keto. It's just those starchier vegetables that you're allowed to have, and the natural sugars and things. So I just took those out and transitioned over.
And here you are, right?
Yeah, and here I
Huh.
am since almost 5 years later.
Yeah. So I want to say hi to a few people. So Johnny's
Okay.
here. Johnny's Peppers is here. Small Peppers is here. Rhonda's here. Hey, Rhonda. She had sent me a really nice email. She's sending me. She sent me. Sent me a little quick recipe on how to make truffle fries, which is really nice. I'm going to try to make those this
Oh, that
weekend.
sounds good.
And, she's putting together a pecan pie. She's going to send me the recipe for it too.
Oh, fun. Fun. Hi,
Yanzi.
everyone.
Hey, Christy's here. Hi, Christy. How are you? So a few people. So tell me, so how long have you been doing keto?
So it'll be 5 years in February.
Okay. So
Since I
it's
started.
5 years for me in like 2 weeks.
Oh, awesome.
So it's about the same time then. So
Yeah, it must have been a popular year for everybody to get on keto.
yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of people say that it was like 5 years.
Yeah, it was a year. My doctor was climbing all over me about being overweight and unhealthy, and if I didn't do something, I had to start taking a bunch of medication, and that was kind of my choice.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. I didn't want to take the medication, so.
I don't blame you there.
Yeah. So can you tell me like a little bit about the health journey and some of the ups and downs that you've been experiencing over the 5 years?
All of my life, as a kid, I was overweight. I always had problems with my weight. I would go up and down, and as a young adult, I lost a lot of weight at a couple of different times. I'm sure, like everyone else. I did Weight Watchers, I did HCG, I did what else have I done? Nutrisystem. I've done all the things, but none of them
Yeah.
ever like kept it off, because I felt like I
Yeah.
never, like, once you get off of all their packaged food nonsense, you don't know how to eat. You don't know what to do. So I think that's kind of what stirred me towards paleo in the beginning, because it was a clean way of eating. I wanted to not eat all kinds of processed things all the time.
Yeah.
And I think even before I like started paleo, I did Whole30, and that's kind of where that transitioned me to paleo. But yeah, I always had a weight problem off and on. And then once I was about, when I was 20, I want to say 24, might have been, no, 22. Um, I got diagnosed with Graves' disease. I had just lost a whole bunch of weight. Like, it was just coming off of me. And I was like, oh, this is great. Something's finally working, right? But it was because my thyroid was messed up. So
Yeah.
it was just overactive. And then and I didn't really do my research back then. You're young 20s. You don't like know any better. You just go to the doctor. They tell you this is what we're going to do, and you do it, right?
Yeah.
And so they treated me with radioactive iodine, which is the main treatment for that. And it just kills your thyroid.
Wow.
And then you take medication for the rest of your life. And
Wow.
then you become hypo. So because you're slowed down, um,
Yeah.
because it's basically, like I said, dead. Um, so then the journey of losing it again comes back, because you're gaining weight. So it
Yeah.
was a really, really uh, lot of learning curves, to figure out what worked
Yeah.
once that all happened. And so
Yeah. Thyroid controls all your hormones and everything else in your body, right?
oh
So
yeah,
it's
and it
pretty.
caused me to go into early menopause. It caused all kinds. It has just caused all kinds of different things that you wouldn't even expect. And
Yeah.
but that's the reason I found keto, and it was the only thing that's ever like worked that has been sustainable for me.
Yeah.
But you know, so
So So have you kind of? I mean, how much weight have you actually lost now? So what are you down
I've
to?
lost about 85 pounds. I That 5 pounds kind of goes back and forth a little bit, but
Yeah,
I want to lose another um, probably 20 pounds, but that's been the hardest to get off. They always say that once you get to the
yeah,
close to that goal, it's like that's the hardest. 10 or 20 pounds is the hardest to get off, especially for me because I lose slowly, anyways, because of my thyroid. So,
yeah.
um, but yeah, about 85, I think, is what I'm at
Cool.
right now. 85 pounds.
All right. So do you track?
In the beginning, I didn't track at all. I didn't write down anything I ate. I just started it and just sort of ate keto food at first. Wasn't counting calories or anything, just was eating. And um, after about the first year and a half, I was realizing that, that works for some people. But because I was older and also had the thyroid, I was like, I need to track or I need to try tracking. All right.
Yeah,
So then I started tracking and that seemed to tweak it. And then stuff started happening. And I was like, oh, why wasn't I doing this in the beginning? But some people don't need a track and they can do just fine. But I really found out that I needed to track and know how much I was putting in my mouth.
yeah. So Cowboy Muse is on there, and he's saying he's gonna go stomp on that thumbs up button. So make sure you do the likes up on the video. So if you
Yeah.
don't mind, please.
Hit that
uh,
like button, guys.
yeah. I kind of track pretty strictly, but then I kind of get lazy and I kind of stop for a while, and then I
Yeah.
start gaining a couple of pounds, and then I kind of reminds me to go back and start doing it again.
Yeah.
Um, no, no, that's pretty good. Um, so I already asked you about how long you've been doing it, weight loss. Um, so do you do total carbs, net carbs?
Well,
Um,
I did total carbs for a while, and what it depends on how you look at it. I do I do total carbs in my app that where I can't count, but I do a little higher total carbs than some people. But when I first started doing total carbs, I was doing 20. Once I started doing all this exercise that I do, I had to
yeah,
up it a little bit because with my thyroid, it was making me really, really sluggish. So I upped it to 40 to 50 total carbs, but usually my net carbs end up being like 20 or 30 ish, something like that. So you could look at it either way, I guess. But I have it set for 40 to 50 total carbs in my app.
all right. So I'm gonna, you guys, if you want, I'm gonna drop Lindy's link here. So if you would like, you can go check out her channel at your convenience. I got to put it in the description down here below. I meant to do that when I go home today and I forgot. So I'm sorry, but I'll do it as soon as we're done here. I'll put in her link to her channel as well. So make sure you go down there and check out her channel and stuff as well after the live stream. So now you talked about your grandkids and your husband and all that. So how does that work with you doing keto? Are they doing some healthy eating, not healthy eating, eating what they want? Um,
So
are you the only
he's
one?
a keto on and off, is what I tell him or say he is most of the time. He eats keto. He eats everything I cook, and I pack his lunch keto. He, I would say 70% of the time he stays on keto, and then the rest of the time he just likes to eat bread. So when we go out to eat, if he gets a hamburger, he doesn't ask it for it without the bun.
Oh,
He always just gets the bun. He's like, if I'm gonna go out to eat, I'm having the bun. So he's on and off keto, I guess, what you want to call it. The grandkids eat everything I eat, except for they do eat a few things that are the kid staple foods.
yeah,
Um, Mainly because it's hard to like if they were here 24/7, that's what they would be eating. What I mean, they'd be eating paleo-ish or keto, and
Yeah.
but because I have to send them other places, um, to their house and stuff, they're eating a lot of junk a lot of times. So I'm fighting to get them healthy over here, and then they go home and eat sodas and drink sodas and
Yeah.
chips and all those things. But my granddaughter, like, she would 100% be on board. She loves all the keto foods. She eats some stuff that you would never think a kid would eat. She eats smoked oysters with me out of the can. She loves olives. She loves um, hard boiled eggs. She loves, of course, bacon. But she'll eat, like, she likes the Quest chips. She like will ask for us to buy them. She likes those.
Yeah.
So
Hmm. That's good. I don't. My wife's not a. She doesn't. She eats pretty much what I eat, but she's not a keto person. So she's still, and she's Asian, so she's eating rice and she's eating things that she likes. But she does eat most of the stuff I cook or bake, and for the most part, she likes it. There's a few
yeah.
things that I like that she's not. She's not a big fan of, like the cauliflower rice, and she, it's not rice. As Tom Garvey's on here, and hey Tom, and Tom would say, it's not rice.
Well,
It's
that's what my husband
cauliflower.
says about the bread. He's like, companies that make keto bread must not like bread. That's what he said.
Yeah. Uh, so that's good. Tom's actually a really good cook. He's actually over in Vegas. He's
Oh,
over there,
awesome! I love Vegas.
and he's So tell me a little bit about 75 hard. I know you're doing 75 hard or
Mhm.
done 75 hard. You've done it. You said you a couple of times,
Yeah.
and so explain a little bit what people probably. I'm not sure everybody understands what 75 is hard is, so you can explain it because I'm not sure what it is.
So 75 Hard is a mental toughness program that a guy named Andy Frisella um, came up with. He's the owner of First Form Supplements, which is who you guys on my videos, I talk about First Form. I'm a legionnaire for them, which is a coach advisor. They call them advisors on the app. But he came up with this um, program because he said, he's out there talking to people about how to, um, you know, better yourself for your business and stuff like that. Because he was a big motivational speaker for businesses and things like that. Um, and he said he looked at himself in the mirror and he was like, I'm not doing the best I can do for me, so he
Yeah,
created this program, and it's a mental toughness program, but of course it involves fitness. So you are going to get uh, a lot of exercise and healthy and everything. But so there's a whole year program. You don't have to do the whole thing. You can just do the 75 part. But it's the 75 hard part, 75 days. So for 75 days, you have to complete certain tasks. So you have two 45-minute workouts a day. One of them has to be outside, and it doesn't matter rain, shine, sleet, snow, you got to get it done. So you just have to plan, look at the weather, all those things. You have to drink a gallon of water a day, plain water, nothing in it. You have to read 10 pages of a motivational book a day, which is good for me because I hate to read. So it's made me read some books that I probably would never have read and I've
yeah.
enjoyed. You have to, what are the other tasks? So let's say 2 45-minute workouts, gallon of water, 10 pages, take a progress photo every day, and follow a diet. And it can be any diet. So anybody, you don't have to be keto to do it. You can be macros or whatever people are doing. And then no alcohol while you're doing that. So that's all for
Oh,
75 days. And then when you finish that 75 days, you can do the other phases if you want to, and those are what they only last for 30 days. So there's phase one, phase two, and phase three. And I've completed everything but phase three, and that will be in January.
Do they get harder as you progress through them, or are they?
Phase one is a little different. It adds a few extra tasks, like taking a 5-minute cold shower, which is fun. Uh, not. Uh, and you have 10 minutes of visualization, which I really enjoyed that part. So because I
Yeah.
made like a vision board, and I would just look at my vision board every day for 10 minutes, and it kind of gave me ways to
Oh,
focus on some goals, personal, health wise, things around the house, for my channel, things like that. And then what else does it add? Oh, and the other part is you add 3 critical tasks of your own. Like you can make them up, whatever you want. It can be like make your bed, floss, it could be clean out you know, a hot spot in your house or something, anything like that. And that's phase one. Phase two is just like 75 hard. All the things are the same except for it's just 30 days. And then phase three is everything from phase one. Plus, you have to talk to a stranger every day, have a conversation with someone, which is kind of good because it pulls you out of your comfort zone.
yeah.
And logistically, it's like, oh, I got to go somewhere today, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to do an act of kindness every day.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I really like that part. It's going to be tough with the grandkids to do the stranger part, but I'm going to have to figure it
Yeah.
out,
Yeah. Yeah. You're telling them not to talk to anybody, but you're going out and talking to them.
Yeah, you're telling them, and then I got to go talk to somebody.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be good for people in California because nobody here talks to each other. So, it's
But yeah,
it's kind of weird. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's I like the doing some kind of act of kindness or something. That's actually a really good thing. Something we don't in the world today we don't do enough of. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I really like the program because I feel like it gives me structure.
Yeah.
Because we tend to, like you said, you'll track for a while and then you don't track, and then you kind of feel yourself and you have to pull yourself back in a little bit. I feel like it keeps me on track with everything, not just my diet, but like, everything, just keeping me focused and manage my time well, so I enjoy it.
Oh, that's good. Well, maybe I'll look into it. I don't know. Working out twice a day.
You can do it, Alan. You can do it.
I have trouble doing it once a day. Never mind twice a day. I'd have to cut out one of my videos once a week so I could have time to. But so I know you like to cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and I know because you do some cooking on your channel.
Yep.
So what are some of your favorite things you like to cook?
Well, I've always cooked my whole life, but I love comfort foods. I guess probably would be the best way to describe the kind of things I like to cook. Because growing up for me, like I said, I was always overweight as a child, but food was a big part of family. Like
Yeah.
big, good meals. And so I was like, I want to have that, but we can still keep it keto, but have, fun with it and have, I just I like take my family recipes, and that's where I started and just started trying to convert them over.
Yeah.
But I like trying new things too, which is why I challenged Hope when we did the chopped thing, because I was like, let's do something fun.
Yeah.
Try something new.
Yeah. I know for me because my wife is Asian, so we're trying some things that you wouldn't particularly find here or nor do you see regularly. So so I did that tocino, which is it's a sweet pork dish that they eat. They eat it for breakfast. It's pork belly, and they use brown sugar in it, and then they cook it in the brown sugar. They marinate it in the brown sugar and cook it, and it's really, really sweet. And it's probably one of my favorite Filipino dishes. And so we made it keto, and
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
so it's really try something different, right? So that's I don't
Yeah.
know whether it'll be the most popular on YouTube, but it was really good in the house.
I bet it was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it, so I'm gonna cook stuff that I want to try. So
Yeah,
right,
that's how I feel. If I don't find a
yeah,
recipe for it, I'll just experiment, until I
yeah,
figure out what I want to make.
yeah. Do you do a lot of baking?
I don't do as much baking. I do make the protein sparing modified bread.
Yeah,
And then like during the holidays, I'll do more baking, but I just don't have time. Like I have these kids over here all the time, and to get a bunch of baking stuff out all the time with them is just
yeah,
it's too much. Because especially my granddaughter, which is great, she always wants to help.
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
I do more baking during the holidays, I guess.
All right. Well, they're not too far away.
Nope.
Not too far at all. What's your favorite holiday coming up? Are you a big
Christmas
Christmas
and
person, or are you a
Thanksgiving
big
probably equal to
Thanksgiving?
me.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, I think for the food.
yeah,
But Christmas, I love Christmas.
yeah. I got a friend that's a Halloween guy, and I mean, he does his whole house and his yard. And I mean, a couple of years ago, he
We
did
do
a
our,
Star Wars
yeah,
theme, and he actually built an X-wing fighter in his front yard, a
that's
full
cool.
size sit-in. He had a jack that went up and down in the air, that went up 12 feet in the air, and all
We
kinds of. That was pretty crazy. He does it every year. He does some theme like that.
decorate our yard too. We're a little bit late. We're gonna put it out on Saturday, I think. But it's we love Halloween. Don't get me wrong, I love Halloween, but it's just the,
Yeah.
the other two are my favorite, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a big Christmas person. I like Christmas. I like the feeling and the spirit and the happiness
Yeah,
and the, you know
we
all
have a
that
lot of
stuff.
traditions.
Yeah, no. I said, and my wife being Filipino, they actually start celebrating on September 1st,
Oh,
Christmas.
fun.
So they call it the Burr months: September, October, November, December. So it's all Burr months, and so they
That's
celebrate
cool.
for that whole Burr month. So if you go over there and you're there in September 1st, they're singing Christmas songs, and um, and all the shows on TV are all Christmas themes and everything else on September
That's neat.
1st. And
See, I would
so
love that.
yeah, I do too. I really like that too myself. So I think it's pretty cool. Um, uh, so do you check your ketone levels or your blood sugars at all, or do you do any testing or?
I don't do it as often as I did at first. I have both a um, Keto Mojo, and I have a Bio Coach, or whatever it's called, Keto Coach, Bio Coach, whatever it's
Yeah,
called now, Bio Coach. But I tend, because I do so much exercise, I tend to always be at the same every time I test myself. I'm like point 0.4, point 0.5.
yeah,
And I talked to Dr. Barry about it. He was like, it's because you're burning them you're using them.
yeah,
And so he's like, to put that thing away because I think it kind of became like, you know how you get obsessed with people can get obsessed with the scale, like weigh like multiple times a day or that kind of thing. And so that was kind of how it was getting for me with the ketone meter. And I was like, okay, just need to take a break from it for a while because I was getting mad. It's like, why am I not in ketosis?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I actually bought a Keto Mojo because I wanted to start doing it, and I kind of wanted to do it more for just testing things, and I
Yeah.
really so
The
I want to
glucose
start
part,
getting
I mean, I think that's the most important,
yeah
anyways, seeing how things
what
affect you.
yeah what are my trigger foods and all that stuff. So, um, but that's why I kind of did it. I have you ever taken ketones like the put them in your drinks or
I had never, ever, ever wanted to try them or use them for like the whole um, most part of my journey until I went to KetoCon and I talked to Dr. Boz, and she has her own kind. And after I talked to her about my autoimmune stuff, she said that they would be beneficial for me, not to make me lose weight or anything like that,
yeah
because she said, but for on days when I feel really sluggish,
yeah
for my thyroid and things, to help just make me feel better. And because she said they will give you some energy, but they also just make your metabolism work better and all that during the day. I don't know. I wouldn't, I would never take them thinking that I could just take those and
Yeah.
eat whatever, because I don't do that anyway. But they do make me feel better on the days I've not been feeling great. So, but otherwise, I'd never taken them before then.
Yeah. All right. Exploring Malaysia's has to step
Yeah.
out. So I'm sure it's really early in the morning there, or really late at night
Oh
there. I'm not
yeah.
sure what, but so
Thanks
thank you
for
for
watching
coming.
us.
Uh, um, yeah, I've never really been into it. And I know that a lot of people do, and to me, it was kind of I always thought it was kind of a waste of money. So, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Dr. Barry always said it was like expensive pee. You know.
yeah. Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about supplements, if you don't mind, because of the fact
Okay.
I know I take probably way too many, and I don't know supplements if you take them, how many, what you take.
Yeah. I take so they've changed a little bit since I started being an advisor for First Form. I was before that just taking my regular, which I'm still taking this, just a different kind. I always take magnesium. I always take I have electrolytes all the time. I always take vitamin D, and I had I started taking fish oil again, and I'm taking my multivitamin is through First Form, and it's called Microfactor, and it has everything in it. It's got probiotic, um, the CoQ10. It's got everything in it.
Okay.
And
What
then
is it called now?
Microfactor,
Microfit. All
yeah.
right.
And it comes in the packets, like the daily packets, but it also
Yeah.
comes in a powder form. And I that's the one I'm using now, and I mix it with my greens. So I drink that with my greens. Also stick my magnesium powder in it, and I'm also taking some L-carnitine, and that is all powder. And I mix all those together and just drink it once a day.
All right.
Um, so that's I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm taking besides collagen. I take collagen.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's
Take
it.
MSM or
Huh?
you ever taken MSM?
No, I've not taken that one before.
Yeah. I did it because Harry and Wendy were doing it on the Loving It on Keto on their channel, and they were having some try it, and so I've been doing it a little bit. So just the
Okay.
first time trying, just to see how it affect me. I figured
Yeah.
I'd take it for a month or two and see if it helped me or it didn't help me or
Yeah.
um.
I
So
take the Redmond's Relight hydration pills. They're electrolyte pills. I take. Oh, and
yeah.
I also take the Keto Chow essential minerals
All right.
each
Yeah.
day.
I take those as well. So
So. Oh yeah, that's
they're
right. You
not
said you
good
were putting them
tasting.
in your coffee. I had never put it in my
Yeah.
coffee before. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I don't know how else to take it because it's pretty nasty tasting. So
I just mix it with electrolytes and water. Like if I mean, some people use LMNT, or I use
yeah.
Everly, or I use the hydration pack from First Form. I just mix it with that in water, and then you can't taste it as bad.
All right. Well, it's pretty good. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else because I think I take everything else. I take instead of a fish oil, I take a salmon. It's a salmon oil pill, and I'm kind of wondering because I was watching the Lowry and he was talking about cod liver oil and
Hmm.
choose, and if you're taking cod liver oil, you don't necessarily be taking vitamin D um, and some other things. I take a vitamin D tablet as well, and like I say, I decided instead of taking a multivitamin to kind of take them all separately, um, um, and I'm doing something different with my magnesium now because I've done this thing. I did the Perfect Keto's Beauty and Sleep Collagen. I
Uh
did that
huh.
for a month, and it didn't make me sleep any better. So
Yeah.
it didn't do a whole lot for me. Um, And then I tried. We were getting these patches from VICI, and they were patches, and you just stick them on. And they're supposedly, melatonin, and it absorbs into your skin over the evening, and that didn't help me a whole lot. And so I just switched my magnesium from taking it in the morning to taking it in the evening. It actually seems to be getting me into a deeper sleep. I'm not necessarily getting a
it usually
longer
does
sleep.
if you take it at night.
Yeah, it gets me into a much deeper sleep. So, I'm going to do that this month.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm going to do that this month and track it this month to see if I get a better results out of it. And
yeah.
So
I also take melatonin, but it's mixed with CBD.
Okay.
I take that at night, and it's by the Sweet Life company. I have a link in my videos, in my description. I have a link for them. It's a really good company, and they have recovery CBD. They've got this one that's mixed with melatonin, and then they have a pain stick that's like a roll-on thing. So, like if your knees are hurting or your muscles are sore or something, you can rub it on there. And I've really been impressed with it. So I take that at night, and it helps me a lot.
Yeah. My problem is not so much falling asleep. My problem is once I wake up, I don't go back to sleep, and I wake up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And then,
if I wake up at 3, I'll be up. So this really puts me in a deep sleep.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I'll have to go look at it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So the roll-on thing help with migraines at all? My wife gets migraines. So.
Well, I do too. I actually don't get as many as I used to, but I do. It helps. I put it on the back of my neck and like on my temples, but I also do for my migraines a headache hat. Does she have one of those?
What is it?
It's called a headache hat, and so you put it. It stays in the freezer until when you need it, and then you stick it in its little thing. It wraps around your head and it velcros, so that helps your headache go away. They have them on Amazon. All you gotta do is search on Amazon. But yeah, it really helps me when I have a migraine.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, she's probably, I don't know whether she's watching or not, but probably not, but I'll have to tell her about it after.
Yeah, it did help. It helps me.
All right. So you have a lot of it, you get a lot of comments and stuff about when you tell people you're doing keto and whether it's sustainable, not sustainable, it's killing you, not killing you. Get some of those comments as well.
Oh yeah, I've gotten comments like, "Oh, keto is not good for your thyroid or stuff," or I've gotten, it just can't be good eating all that fat, and just so many different people, and half the people don't even know what keto is.
Yeah.
For real, they just think you're eating a bunch of you're eating a bunch of bacon all day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what are you eating? Pop-Tarts?
That's true.
Yeah. Hi, Keto Mama Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, how are you? So Michelle's actually going to be on my channel next week.
Oh, awesome. So, I'll watch it.
So we're going to be on an hour later, though, because she has her kids, I guess. So she's going to get them to bed. So, but yeah, so it's kind of cool. What's some of the weird comments that you get on your channel? Mind me asking you that? How's that? For a question.
There's some spam person that keeps putting comments about Dr. So-and-so's guru herbs have cured my this or that, anything from herpes to thyroid to whatever. They put it on my Instagram too, and it's like, whoop, delete. And then that one is just weird. But then I've gotten comments every now and then, just people who troll. They just say negative things, and I try not to let it bother me, because people are just like, what, you must have too much time on your hands,
Yeah. I just find it funny. I kind of laugh, and we joke about it a little bit, my wife and I, and we have some fun with them. And, I don't know. Like I said, they're rude or whatever, I'll delete them. But she kind of takes them a little more to heart. But I think
Yeah.
so. But I just kind of find it funny. And I had somebody criticize me one day because I was cooking. They were talking about uh, armpit hair in the food, and it's like, what, come
You're at
on.
your house. I'm always like, when I'm cooking on here, I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
in my own house, cooking for my own self, and my family. And if if I want to lick the spoon and put it
Yeah,
back in the food, I'm going to lick the spoon. It's my house. I mean, I'm not serving anyone. If I was serving someone, I probably wouldn't do that. But people will just notice like stuff like that. They're just like, that's not sanitary
yeah,
or something like that. Just like, oh my gosh.
yeah. Extra protein.
There
No,
you
that's what
go.
Michelle said. So Trumpet Master 77 just came in. I'm not. How are you? That's a new one. I'm not
Hey,
familiar with.
yeah, me either.
Uh, but welcome. Uh, yeah. So I get some really crazy comments. So like I said, the trolls come in. Um, I've been pretty good for the most part. I don't know. Um, you know, they make. I'm gonna say they kind of make weird comments. So and then
They do.
sometimes I scratch my head about, hmm,
What does that mean? Yeah.
yeah, what does that mean? So how's your? Because I know my diet has changed a lot over the years. How's your diet changed over the last 5 years? So
Um, it. I feel like so towards the beginning of keto, I was eating probably a lot more fat than I am now. Um, and always when I coach people, I always tell them I want them to eat a little bit higher fat in the beginning anyway,
yeah,
because you don't want to be hungry, right? Um, and it gets your body fat adapted and all that. But I do eat less fat now than I did then, because I'm at a different part of the journey.
yeah,
Um, and but I'm still much higher fat than what average SAD diet, Sad American diet, people
yeah,
eat, for sure. Good fats, obviously.
yeah,
But yeah, so that's changed a little bit. The amount of carbs have changed a little bit because of the exercise. Um, and my protein is really high. I've always done heavy meat keto. Um,
yeah,
and so, I go back and forth between keto, ketovore, and I'll do spouts of carnivore here and there. Not, I don't think I can be full time carnivore. I always go back to wanting some veggies.
yeah,
Um, but I can do it, for a while. I'm getting ready to do it again. I'm going to do it for my challenge. I'm going to do that's the diet I'm going to choose, is to do carnivore.
yeah,
Mainly because I've noticed that my hands, my arthritis in my hands has flared up. I don't know if it's the weather changing or what it is, but it hasn't bothered me in a
yeah,
while. So I'm gonna just go carnivore for till Thanksgiving, and with the exception of a day or two here and there, I'm gonna have my Chalk Zero ghosts on for Halloween, and things like that. Um, but other than that, I'm gonna be pretty much carnivore the rest of the time.
right. All right. So talk. You just mentioned your challenges. I know that on your channel yesterday, the video, you had a couple of challenges that you're doing for. I think it's just for this month. It's all the way to the end of the year. Actually, some of them
Yeah,
have some money involved with them. So
yeah. So the
um,
challenge for my channel is the hustle through the holidays, or holiday hustle. Basically, I was just trying to come up with something to keep me motivated until the next first form challenge came out, and then they shocked me and it came out right when I was about to do mine. So that's why it's kind of happening at the same time. But I just wanted something to keep me accountable, and I thought, maybe some other people need something to keep them accountable between now and Thanksgiving, because it seems like we do really good until Halloween hits. Then we all go crazy on Halloween, and then we try to buckle back up until Thanksgiving. But then it seems like for some people, it just derails them through the whole next 2 months. You know what I mean? And so
yeah,
I just thought it gives people something to motivate them. So the hustle through the holidays is basically move 30 minutes or more a day, drink your water. What else did I follow a diet and track at least one meal, because there's some people that have never tracked or aren't tracking. And I thought if I could get them to track one meal a day to start, then maybe that will be like, oh, okay, well, let's see what it looks like to put this other meal in too, and then they end up tracking more and more, so
Yeah.
like just kind of get them to try it. And then I put on there also to work on a hot spot in your house, because I feel like during this time of year, especially, we all have so much stuff everywhere. And just to like hone in on some area for 5 or 10 minutes a day to kind of, bring that in. So that's that one. And the other one is the first form challenge, which is first form. If you win, it's an 8-week challenge. If you win, you get $60,000. So it's pretty motivating. And it's you use the first form app. You take before pictures. You take your pictures every week. You get an advisor, which if you use my link, I'd be your advisor. And you can put your macros. You can put your keto macros in there. But if you're not keto, it'll set up macros for you. And you customize your whatever you want to check off each day, like how it kind of had for 75 hard, read or
Yeah.
work out, walk 45 minutes or whatever. You can move those around and change them to what you want them to be for that challenge. It's basically just to keep you motivated, and but it's fun. They do it every.
Yeah.
They kind of keep it going all year long, but they do official challenge fall, spring, summer, so it's pretty good. I
Wow.
like doing it. Keeps
Yeah.
me,
60.
yeah.
60K is not bad incentive as well. Just
Mm-hmm.
so
For sure.
yeah, it's a nice spending money for Christmas,
Oh yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, sure would be. Wow, that's pretty good. So you put a video out on that. So if you guys wanted to go over to her channel, look at that video that she put out yesterday on that. It goes into all that. I think you have the links into that video as well. Um, so again, I put the links to Lindy's channel up there as well. They're pinned in the comments as well. So make sure you're going over there and checking her channel out. And I know Tom said that he connected with you already as well. So
Awesome.
so you'll see more of him. Him and Mike from Ketorific's Journey.
Mm-hmm.
They do a live together, so they kind of go
Okay.
back and forth. They switch off back and forth. The two of them. So um, kind of interesting how they do that. Uh, so talking about that a little bit, you hadn't talked about people that you were coaching. Because I know a while back you had talked about, this is a long time ago, I believe, that you were talking about getting your certification.
Right.
I'm not sure have you done that, or is it still in the
I haven't
works?
done that yet because my husband was laid off for 9 months, and he just got a job and started last week. And which is great. So I had
Yeah.
kind of put off getting a certification, but and another reason I did it is because when I became a Legionnaire through First Form, they're training me with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Their education is phenomenal. I mean, I'm so
Oh,
impressed with. So I don't know if you guys follow Dr. Uh, Gabrielle Lyons on Instagram. If you're not following her, you should be. Or I think she has a podcast as well, but I think she's on YouTube too, but I'm not positive. But she is on Instagram and she has a podcast on all the podcast thingies. But she's the doctor that does all their training. So all of my education videos are done by her, and
yeah.
she spoke at KetoCon. She's going to be at the Low Carb Denver event. Um, she's
Okay.
she's very uh, high protein, is her big thing of talking about how protein helps your skeletal muscles and all that, sustain all that and everything. But anyway, um, I've just been impressed with their training, so I'm using all that training because it's free to me for now, and then I'm going
Yeah.
to go back and the one that I want to get is primal coaching,
Yeah.
for, and because they cover keto and paleo ish, all
Oh,
that
okay.
whole realm is in there. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to kind of do that. But I thought the first form would be good because I can coach people who aren't keto as well.
Yeah.
Well, I can get
Yeah.
all of the things.
Yeah. That was something on my 2023 bucket list to do, is officially go get a certification
Yeah.
so I can say, and I've been kind of looking at different programs and stuff like that. So it's interesting that I didn't even know Primal had one that didn't come up in the searches that I've been doing.
Yeah.
So,
It's very expensive.
yeah.
It's the highest one I've seen is Maria's. And
Yeah. Maria's.
this one was a little bit cheaper than hers. And
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons I put it off, but it's very, very good. And that's why it's so
Yeah.
expensive. But yeah, there's some other ones out there. I'm not sure. The other one I was looking at was Keto Camp with Ben
Yeah.
Azari.
Yeah.
That a friend of mine did that one, and it looks really good too.
Yeah.
So
And then, what's it, Doctor? Is it Ash? Ash, or I'm trying to think of he's got one too. That he's. Oh, anyway, he's got one. I don't remember what his last name is. I'd have to go back and look at my
yeah,
notes and stuff.
I'll get one. I just want to make sure when I do it, I wanted it to be a really good one.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get just one that was like the cheapest,
Yeah. No.
so that I
Me
could
too.
say I'm certified.
Yeah, and the one I think I'm going to look at is she actually has not only the training, but she also has a whole business plan to give you to how to take off. She has meal plans that you can use to start off with. She gives you legal agreements that they can sign
Yeah.
for your protection and stuff of that nature as well. So I kind of thought that whole business plan at the end of it, after you go through all your certification, was
Right.
actually kind of cool to go through that to get that. So
Yeah.
now I know
Primal does
Maria
that.
does. Yeah. So I know
Yeah.
Maria does. She helps actually advertise for you. So she puts your picture on her page and all that stuff. And,
Yeah.
but like you said, you're paying big dollars for over the time.
For sure.
So tell me a little bit about. So you've been. So I know that I have my hat. I don't remember. You remember giving me this hat or not?
Yeah, I do remember.
Oh. And so I got this hat, and you've been to the Austin KetoCon. You just went to Keto Palooza. So you've been to a few of the shows and stuff like that. So if somebody wanted to go to one and say they could only go to one that you've been to, which one would you go to and why? And
Well, I would say it depends on what your goal for going is. KetoCon is obviously the biggest one. I mean, there's more vendors. If you're wanting to shop, there's a lot of speakers. So it would be a good one to go to if you want to see a lot of stuff. Um, and Austin is fun too. But the one, and I liked the Vegas one. It was very small, but it's just getting kind of started.
yeah,
But the one I just went to, the Keto Palooza, was not like anything I've ever been to. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It was so she Watch Autumn Keto is the one who puts it on. She structures it to be kind of like a family reunion, so it's more intimate feeling. Even though there were 200
yeah,
people there, it was more. So it starts off with like Friday night. Friday we had registration. Well, actually Thursday I got there. Thursday night was a pre-event dinner for like Patreons and the speakers and things like that. And so it was very small, and then we had barbecue, and it was really nice. And then we on Friday was like registration, and then you could either go in the I think at 6 o'clock they had like board games. Like you sit down with other keto people and just like play board games and stuff like that. We did not do that part because we went to Churchill Downs and went and saw Kentucky Derby stuff. But then that night we had karaoke, and that was fun. And they had like keto appetizers and stuff. And then Saturday was the speakers. So there was just one day of speakers. And that went on all day Saturday, and that was the main thing. And then Saturday night we all went to the Brazilian steakhouse and ate.
Nice.
If you had to sign up for it, I think they could not all 200 people were at that. You had to sign up ahead of time. And I think it was like 60 people or something that were there, and that was fun. And then Sunday we did a walk. So you could sign up for whichever length of walk you wanted to do. I did the 4.5 mile. And we literally walked over this bridge to the other side of the Ohio River and into Indiana. And it was a beautiful walk over the river. And then when we got back from that, we had a brunch, and it was a keto brunch, all catered for us. Was great. Didn't have to worry about what you were eating because it was all already arranged, and everything. And then there was, like some motivational things and like team building type of things with that brunch. And then we had a surprise wedding. So this couple that got engaged there last year got married.
Wow. How cool is that?
It was like shocking, but like so cool, it was really sweet. But it was just a lot of fun. Everybody was just like family, and it just, and plus you got your keto speakers and all the things. And because it was more intimate, if you wanted, it was more, you could approach the speakers to talk easier. If you didn't already have met them before. I had met all of these before, but it was great. I loved it.
Huh. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make either one of them next year. I don't know which one, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say if it's your very first one and you want to absorb information, go to KetoCon, because that's the biggest one. But awesome. If you just like want to baby step it and do something small, I would say, I think that one was an awesome. I would go to this, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Huh. All right.
I haven't been to Nebraska. Oh, they have one in Omaha. I haven't been to that one. And so we'll see.
I know that one.
I may be going to the one in Denver. Huh?
Oh, okay. I know they have one in Orlando as well.
Yeah, I haven't been to that one either. But I'm thinking about the low carb Denver one because my son lives there, and I won't have to get a hotel room. So I'm seriously thinking about that one. The ticket is expensive, but if I don't have to pay for the hotel, it'll kind of even out. So
yeah, well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like to go. I think I find it really interesting, and I find it very intriguing and stuff. So tell me a little bit about what's going on with your channel. Where are you going in the next year, next 5 years with your channel and yourself and your personal life and career and.
Well, I'm hoping that my channel is going to keep growing. I would really love to just be doing this and coaching. That's kind of my end goal. I've always wanted to I really just want to help people, because I know how hard it was for me when you have health issues and you're not losing weight, to just get discouraged and give up, And so that's my main goal with my channel, is just to help as many people as I can. So, I'm just going to keep on chugging and trying to put out good content.
Yeah. Are you, now I saw that you were using, is it your website that I saw that you had put a link on, I believe it was one of your videos. You had put a link to a website. Was that your website, or were you?
I don't know which one you're talking about. No, I don't have a website. I have a page. I have a Facebook page for Paleobarbie Does Keto. Okay. I also have a Facebook group. It's a small group, but I have that. but I don't have a website yet. It's a goal to have it,
Right.
because I'd like to have my cookbook over there instead of on Etsy, but it's time consuming. I haven't had time to really, as you know, since you have a website.
Yeah, it's pretty time consuming. The website's really time consuming, I'll tell you. And I don't do it much, nowhere as near as what I have. I've been trying to keep the recipes up to date. The rest of it's kind of fallen to the wayside, but
yeah. I do, like, whenever I make a recipe, I put it in the notes on my phone. So I already have enough to start adding, for my next cookbook. But that's time consuming too. It took me so long to get that one done and I had to have help, with the typing up of everything. So
yeah. Huh. So that's cool. That's really, really good. So,
that's my
anything else going on?
I am definitely going to KetoCon in April. That will be coming. And if I go to Low Carb Denver, that'll be in February.
Okay.
Let's see, anything else coming up? Probably next week I'll be doing a live. Well, I am doing another live with Michelle at Life Adventures with Michelle. Interview like this. I think we're going to be talking about mental health and how keto can help with depression and mental health and things like that.
Oh, that's very good. So Kirby the Beagle came on a while ago, and I didn't say hi to him. So how are you? Sorry about that. So talk a little bit about physical fitness and activity. I know you talked a little bit about the 75 hard. Without doing the 75 hard, what's your normal physical workout routines? And
well, when the pandemic hit, I didn't exercise consistently every day. But when that happened, when we all went into quarantine and all that, I was like, I've got to do something to make myself not go insane, So I was like, well, I'm going to commit to exercising every single day. So that's where it started. So I commit to doing that. If I don't feel good, I still do something. I do yoga or something that's a little lighter. But so I exercise every single day. But that has, because of 75 hard, has evolved into figuring out a better routine for me. So I do walking and I ride my bike. I usually ride my bike on Saturday mornings because I can do a longer ride. And I'll ride like 20 miles or so. But and then I do weight training. So now I do weight training just about every day, probably 5 days a week. I'll do 2 upper bodies, 2 lower bodies, and then the other day is sort of like a full body or something like that. But yeah, with the walking and biking and all that in between, and then some yoga sprinkled in there too.
Oh, that's nice. I have never done yoga. I've never really, it's something I always say I'd like to get into, because especially as you get older, to stretch more and your balance and everything else would probably be very beneficial to do it, right? So
it really, and it helps me even when I'm stressed out. Like if I just to get out my yoga mat and do some yoga for a few minutes, it will help me sleep better, and it just calms me down if I've had a stressed out day.
All right, and so it's just we're a little over the hour mark. So everybody can find you on YouTube. I will put YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Is there any other? Are you on TikTok or?
I am on TikTok. It's just Paleobarbie, I think, on TikTok. I have to look. It's either Paleobarbie or Paleobarbie Does Keto on TikTok. And I'm also on Clapper, but I don't go on there quite as often as I do the others. But it's a lot like TikTok if you've not been on it.
What is it called again?
Clapper.
Clapper?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never even heard of it before. Huh.
Wow. It's a lot like TikTok, except for it's like free speech more. That's the premise behind it. They're not as picky about people's videos, and but there's not as many people on it as there is on TikTok, obviously, because TikTok's huge. But
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, like I say, learning stuff all the time. I know they were talking about it's the Almighty Network or something like that too, and
Yeah.
that was the first I ever heard of that about a month ago. I never heard of it before, so it's kind of
I am on
interesting. There's a lot
Twitter.
of
I am on Twitter too, but I don't get on
okay,
Twitter as often. I'll post every
yeah,
now and then on there, but it's not my my main thing. Instagram is my biggest social media platform besides,
yeah, I think mine too. Well, YouTube, and then after YouTube would
right.
probably be Instagram. So, I
Yeah.
do very little on TikTok. I put out a video every once in a great while, maybe once every week or two. I'll put one on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and Facebook as well. I try to advertise on Facebook more than I do posting
Right.
stuff on there, and stories and stuff. So,
Yep. Same here.
yeah. But that's kind of where we are. All right, so we're at the hour mark. So I'm thinking that we're probably getting close to this. I know you're 2 hours ahead of me, so so you're at 8 o'clock now. So it's
Yeah.
6 here. So it's almost time for me to go for my walk, and then we're gonna eat dinner. My wife made a nice keto meatloaf for me.
Oh,
She's
yum.
so nice of her to do that for me. So
That's nice of her.
yeah, well, she does support me, even though she's not a keto person. She does support because she's seen the benefits that I've gotten out of it.
Yeah.
So, um,
Well, that's awesome.
yeah, and my other daughter Natalie's just came on there. You saw her say hi, Dad. uh, but so I think we're gonna end the live stream here, unless
Okay.
you have something else that you want to talk about, or so. Please go over, and I'll put the links down below. Sure, there's a link right there that you can go connect to Lindy on her page on there as well, pinned in the comments. Actually, I'll post it one more time in here just to make it easier for you. So go over there and make sure you connect with her and check her channel out. She does a lot of great stuff. You do see a lot of day of eatings, a lot of cooking, a lot of exercise, a lot of really good stuff. So, so I would suggest that you go over there and check it out. So, it's kind of weird when you switch from YouTube to back from the yard stream to YouTube. It kind of one's delayed more than the other one.
Yeah, it's weird.
One is real time, and the other one's like
Right.
5 seconds behind it or something. So it's kind of weird, but so I just want to thank you, Lindy, for coming to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Check her out. She's going to be on Life Adventures in Keto next Tuesday at 4 o'clock my time, which would be 7 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Central time. Is that right?
I think so. I'll have to go back and look. Well, I have it posted on my community page. They can see that I have the picture of the graphic on there.
All right. So go over there and check it out. She does some really, really great stuff. So I enjoy watching her channel. So I know that you guys will too as well. So, all right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. You guys are awesome. We'll be talking soon.
Bye.